Hi everyone, we're going to do a quick video on Kanshiwa Bunkai. Bunkai means analysis, and so this is a kind of analysis of that kata. It's not the last word on these movements, it's just, it's meant to be, I think, an aid to learn the kata and understand the kata. There's really endless ways of using these movements, but these are some ways that these movements can be understood. At first stripe level for adults, you're learning this, but you're not going to be tested on it. At second stripe, you'll actually be tested on this for your next rank. It begins with a bow, of course. So Jen and I would both bow to the board. We bow to the board if we're testing. So we may as well practice it that way. And then we would bow to each other because we're going to work together. And then you can see Jen goes into a left stance, into a kumayate, ready to fight position, and I bow into Kanshiwa kata and do the first 3 movements of Kanshiwa kata. So I come back to my original opening position. So now I'm going to try to demonstrate and analyze how those movements might be used. So Jen comes in with her punch, step to the side, and strike. And she scoots around behind because we're thinking that there's a board in front, and I'm the one being tested at this point. Sorry, I'm a little bit too close. I'm looking down so I can see her there. She comes in, I do that sequence. And then I do that third one again just to sort of keep my place in the kata. So the next movement, of course, are the 2 kicks. So I can continue with those. And then back with Jen, so she's on this side now. We're both in a left stance. She steps in. I step off a little bit to the side, do the circle, and kick to her knee. And I step down to where I ended up, so I ended up in a right stance. She steps back and does that same punch again. This time I'm going to the other side, blocking, so I'm opening her now. And hard to see in the video, but I'm actually going right for the crease of her left hip, right here. And the idea is not really to strike there, certainly not for practice, but just to make it roll. So if you change stances, I'll do the other side so they can see. So here, so I'm rolling that hip out, breaking her stance that way. So then I come back to the kata, and I just do that last movement to continue in the kata. Keep it Dutch. And now with Jen, she's going to throw a big hook punch. And I step in. Notice I'm not actually doing a circle. I'm just stepping in with that hand position. And the analysis here, the real application, if we go really slowly, might be more like right away, right? But here, we're just going to keep that elbow down and use it as kind of a brace, the full forearm bracing against her body. So this means that this shows me I have structure. If this leg isn't driving forward, if I'm like this, when she's doing that circle block, she's going to push me back. So she should feel that she's just hitting a brick wall. Right? And then I drop this elbow, the elbow goes in, the elbow drops, and strike. Notice it's not an uppercut. Uppercut is fine, that's a good technique. It's not the technique of the kata, so that's not what we're practicing or demonstrating. The problem with going straight up like this is that, say she moves her head and she gets out of the way, now she's got all these techniques available. So here, I've collapsed her forward this way and sent her back this way. So I'm maintaining a good position and she has fewer options. Okay, thanks, Jen. So now I'm back and do this again in the kata. And continue, and I do the next 3 movements. Of course, the 3 wa-ukes. In the kata, the first one is a slide step. So I'm going to slide step back. Jen steps in, slide step back, circle, strike. Now Jen steps back and does that same technique again, but this time I step back. So it means it's the other side. And then I'm striking to the neck and to anywhere along this circle of ribs. So there's not really much in the way of muscle anywhere along this whole, some people call it the eggshell region of the torso, and of course the neck. So if she came in really strong and I wasn't able to turn her at all, she's pretty much looking at me, then I'm getting pretty close to the solar plexus and pretty close to the front of the neck. with the thumbs, boshikins. If she came in and she was less stable and she got twisted, more turned, I'm still going to do the same straight strike, but now I'm going to be more to the back of her neck and more to the ribs. So I'm going to do the same technique. I don't have to reach out and try to find the target. It's anywhere in those circles. So again, analysis. So then I would do that final, the third strike, and now sanshin, step, circle, nukite, back fist. Now with a partner, then coming in, punching, I'm stepping back so that I'm circling over the rear foot, drawing back here, strike. So I want to hit with this kind of lower edge of the hand. I don't want to hit with the upper part of the hand. Strike, and then cut down, and then arakan into that. Basically hitting the same spot. And there's a way to understand this move that it rolls. So that the very first part is like rolling her out and then rolling her back down and then striking to that same spot. Then I would do that again in the kata. Sanshin, turn, block, front kick. This is the one time Jen goes to the other stance and she does the other punch. I can do this variation on the circle block that we learned in Kikumote number 3. Front kick, back to the kata. Just finishing the kata. And now this time Jen just stands her ground again in the left stance. And I'm sliding in. And this is the kind of a bunkai analysis of her stance and where the weakness and the strengths are. So her stance, in the sanshin stance, is going to be very strong from the front. It's very strong on this angle, but of course it's going to be relatively weak on this angle. And I can push on her, and she can find it. She's really good at directing force, but nonetheless, structurally, it's just going to be a little bit weaker this way. So that means that the weakness of the stance, if I go to this front arm, is pulling her along this diagonal. And this is particularly useful in a sparring situation, or really any kind of self-defense situation. If somebody's leading with this hand, if she's quite turned, kind of going like this, then this is the response. Right? So that's what we're going to do, except she's going to be in a solo sanshin stance. I'm coming in, guide blocking, circling, strike. And of course it's a shoken fist in the kata. Just use a seiken fist for here. And then step back. We're not analyzing this, so don't do that. Just come to here. And then we come back to the kata. Repeat that last bit. Close gate. I bow to the kata. And I take my position and Jen bows into Kanshiwa kata. Kata, we bow to each other, and then we bow to the board. So you begin and end by bowing to the board. Thanks, hope that's helpful. Send me a question.